Greetings fellow gamers, this is Small Archangel bringing you another epic base build. I'm glad that you've joined me for this video today. I just thought I'd show you around another one of my creative pieces. We are still in Alpha 15, but probably not for very much longer, hence the creativity. This is a base I've been working on for some time now, so I thought I'd give you guys a bit of a tour, so I hope you enjoy it. This is a fairly inauspicious way to begin, because this basically is, well, this is the panic room, aka the place I started from, because this base is right outside the hub city. There it is, the big bad city. So starting out at bedrock, though that isn't saying very much at this point in the map, we're quite low down. Starting out at bedrock is an auspicious place. It's a good place to start out from, basically, so you've got somewhere secure while you're constructing, and that's what this basically is. Also now gives me the option with this build to ride out the horde if I'm not prepared for it, or I can't be bothered dealing with them, or whatever. This is some way outside my base. You can see the entrance to my base is there, and my panic room is way over here. So if the hordes are annoying me, I can come up. I haven't actually done that yet, but it gives me the option. There you go. So that is our very modest start there, and now we have to snake our way through quite a lot of vault doors and concrete corridors in order to get to the base proper. And first of all, I am going to show you the outside of the base, and then we are going to start from the floor level, the underground level. In fact, yeah, this is it. Here we go. We'll go this way first, then you guys can see it from the outside. There's my drop box. I always place a box there. It means that I can put stuff in it and make it... Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. That's just two. And off he goes. Never mind then. I can't be bothered at the moment. Got other things to do. And there it is in all its glory. There is our tower. So you can see it's taking a little bit of a pasting down the bottom there. I'm really not convinced that reinforced steel is all it's cracked up to be. But at least it's a good day here in the hub city, so we can actually see what we're dealing with. Uh-oh, there's Jason. There he goes, look at him, he's about to attack another zombie for us. Yes, we're using Valmod here, folks. I love my Valmod, so this is the second base I've built. Creative style, use it with Valmod as well, because I love the things it adds to the game. So I'm just going to keep a little bit of an eye on him. He's slaughtering other zombies, which perhaps explains why it is so very quiet around here, but I do not want him axing me. We've encountered him enough before. So there we go, Angel Towers. Welcome to Angel Towers. It's got really quite a lot of floors, including the one below my feet. I'm just going to back off a bit. Wow, he is doing a very effective job at keeping the streets of the hub city clear there. So we've got a basement level below, and then we've got 2 killing floors, and then we've got several floors on top of that as well. We have got 10 floors, and look at that! It's a real mob fight going on over there. This is awesome. I could just stand here and watch it all day. It's a shame it hasn't happened before now, quite frankly. So we have actually got 10 stories in all, I think, to explore. So without further ado, let's get on and do that. So we're going to go back in the way we came. We have, of course, the entrance at the front there, which is our mini bike entrance, which we'll see better from the garage, which is where we're going to go to now. We're going to start out at the bottom and work our way up from there. And yeah, we have, as per usual, we have a basement to put our mini bike in, because they're valuable assets once you get them. Worth keeping it safe, and also worth having a decent setup. And look at that. I quite like the look of it, I have to say. It turned out better than I thought. It's quite good having a place where you can really kind of set itself up properly. Now, the mini bike at the moment is in its component parts in here because I'm in the process of upgrading. You can see a couple of parts of it are really, really cruddy, which means that it barely outruns the dogs in the hub, which is a little bit alarming, quite honestly. So I'm just in the process of rebuilding the thing, but there you go. So that's where I park the mini bike usually. I've got lockers with fuel in there and stuff, and then I've got my repair kits in there as well. I have, of course, I've got a little quest board here so I can pick up questies. I've got a combine station here so that I can combine the parts that I find for the mini bike. I can combine parts together and improve them. And then, of course, I've got a workbench, and I've got some lockers there just to put stuff in that I intend on combining and or using with the workbench. And then, of course, if anybody's seen one of my builds before, I've done quite a few with this setup now, where basically you accelerate up the ramp and drive through there. Now, I can't fit through there, and neither can a zombie, but my bike can glitch nicely through there, and the ramp means that you get sufficient, hopefully, momentum to be able to get through there. The lighting in here is pretty good. That is Valmod lighting, which, if you're unfamiliar with Valmod, you can turn them on and off, and it gives these nice sort of pools here. Though it does have an FPS effect, so do beware if you happen to have a less than very beefy rig. So that is the garage, currently devoid of mini bike because I've taken it to pieces. Let's just have a light on the subject. And we have got lots of floors. So first floor, zombie killing, obviously. And this is based on the same model of zombie killing platform that I'm very fond of because it is extremely effective. I've tried shooting zombies from below, but that's no good because you're shooting them in the feet and you basically have to give them, they can take a lot of shots to the foot. They really, really can. Bearing in mind our proximity to the hub city, we are just on the outside, right on the outside of the hub city, looking down the central street here because that just sort of appeals to my, my sense of sort of symmetry, right opposite the Ostrich Hotel, which you might be able to see I've actually put a ladder all the way up the top there because I like to be able to go raiding that overnight. So I like to be able to sort of climb up there in security and start from the top down. There's Jason over there. He's just going to go off and empty the hub for me. If only I could stay out of his way, this would be a great thing. And we've actually got two levels of killing floor, and that is because once the cops turn up, I don't want to be too close. So basically, we hop on up to the next story. And I haven't got any lighting in my ladder wells, because I always forget to do it. And on this story, I've got building and weapons supplies, so I can actually keep a stash of arrows and whatever other supplies I need up here in these inset storage containers, which hopefully means that they won't get spat at. They're pretty well sheltered, really, from any spitters that might happen. And yeah, we're sort of a long way above here now, which yeah, means that we can still shoot stuff, but yeah, the cops are very much more less likely to be able to attack us. So this is my sort of security horde fighting floor. There we go. Okay, and on to the next. Now, the next floor, which I've just gone past, there we go. The next floor is themed in blue, and this is so that I can actually find my way around and don't get confused, because I've got two utility floors in this tower. Angel Towers has got two utility floors. This is the workshop floor, or the workstation floor. I quite like that lighting, really, without my headlight, but there you go. We've got our chemistry bench. We've got our storage chest for keeping all the stuff we need. We've got our forges. This one is currently making lots of lovely cement for me. Yeah, I actually meant that. There we go. Because I need to make some more concrete. Ooh. Concrete for my repairs, and then of course we've got our workbench here and our cement mixer, and somewhere, oh yes, here we've also got a combine station and a little armory as well, so we can make our armor in there too. So that's this floor basically. We've got chests to keep in the specific items that we need for crafting all of the things that we need to craft here, and then the next story up is working stiff orange, and that's because this is our storeroom. So our storeroom, again, that is the lighting courtesy of Valmod, but just for purposes of video, I've got my headlight on here, which incidentally happens to be an iron helmet with a light attached, which is possible in Valmod as well. And as you can see, I've got the quadrants of the tower organised here so that the one by the door has got my explosives and a couple of gun safes for complete weapons. And then just to the left of that, we've got our gun parts, basically. Most of this is empty at the moment, not very much in there. Some miscellaneous storage there for whatever reason. And then we've got our ammo storage there as well. And then, I haven't been living in this base for very long. And then here we've got our building supplies. So we've got our stone and we've got wood, not ever so much at the minute, and various other miscellaneous stuff as well. Lots of stuff for building and basically building and resources. And then we've got our health and food here. And to be honest, most of my food is actually in the house itself, way up above. But I like to have lots and lots of storage capacity, and this room gives me that. So on to the next floor. I've lost count, folks. I don't know how many floors we've been up. I haven't honestly counted them before I did this video. And as I say, I think there's 10. But I'm not entirely sure. This is garden floor number 1, and there are 2 of them. This floor mostly has stuff. It's mostly my apothecary's garden, basically. It's got herbs and stuff like that. So we've got chrysanthemums, we've got cotton, so we've got non-edible and or medicinal. And this is yucca and I believe wheat, but I'm not absolutely certain. Some of the Valmod crops are difficult to discern. And then we've got goldenrod and aloe, and we've got hops. And then in the middle there are actually 4 apple trees, but they're not growing for some reason. Possibly because it's too dark and they don't get enough light, or possibly because they're all crammed together. I'm not sure, but I quite like the look of them, so I just left them where they were. And then, of course, we have our chicken coop here, which I love these. This ensures I stay well in with feathers and with some eggs as well, because I love my Valmod scrambled eggs and the other recipes that you can have, like the bacon and egg sandwich. They're excellent. So no pun intended, folks. No pun intended there. So yes, this keeps me well supplied, although it's not giving me ever so many eggs today. So as I say, this is the floor which is closest to the level below, which has our chemistry bench, where we craft all of our potions and what have you. And this is the food floor. So this is the food garden. We've got our potatoes and coffee. We've got blueberries and well, one of these is coffee and the other is something else. I can't remember. We've got wheat in the middle here. We've got mushrooms. We've got corn, whatever. I've forgotten something somewhere, but we've got all of the food crops, including the ones that Valmod adds. So we've got wheat to make bread as well. And that's this floor. And as you can see, we're getting quite high off the ground by now. It's a little bit vertiginous. And you can see my entrance, my underground entrance there. I always like my entrance to be a long way away from the actual base itself. And it's behind a boulder as well, a rocky outcropping, so that from the hub, any hordes, and there are lots, don't see me coming out of the base. So there we go. And that's that garden. And now we're into the house proper. So through a vault door, and this has got fairly decent lighting in actual fact, so we don't need, hopefully, our head torch there. And I've got a nice house door. Again, Valmod allows you to make all sorts of blocks you couldn't usually make otherwise. And I'm not using Valmod lighting in here too much. I'm mostly using candles because they give a nice soft light, and some of the lights in game are just too glaring and bright, really. Okay, so you can see the lighting we've got in here. It may be a little bit dark on camera, so just in case, I'm going to use my head torch so that you guys can see properly. Okay, so we've got red tables, we've got a nice dining area here. I've got a nice cornice around, and again, organised in quadrants. So here's the door where we came in, and we've got our dining area, and we've got a drink cooler to hold all those lovely Valmod drinks that are extra, like purified water, apple cider, mead and blueberry mead, and of course the energy drink, aka Red Bull, and they're all in there. The lights in the kitchen are really quite bright, so I'll turn that off. We've got our Valmoded fridge here as well, so we can keep all these items in here. It's much bigger capacity than the vanilla. Oh, look there, I can put my eggs in there while we're about it. And of course, we've got a working sink, which means that we can get water from the sink. There we go. And then if we do this, and if you're watching Joanne Hempen, I have worked out how to use this. There we go. We have now got not just water. There's our plain old bottled water. This is cool bottled water. I beg your pardon, cold bottled water, which gives the same stamina and hydration, but also has an effect, cool drink 100%. Not entirely sure what that does, but hey. And I keep my cold water in here when I'm not using it. There we go. So that stacks in 50s. Fantastic. So we've got our working fridge. We've got our working oven here, which we can put cooking pot, grill, and clay bowls in. And you can put clay bowls full of water in there in order to make some wonderful recipes, including apple pies, and let's see what else we've got. Stews, bowls of ramen, so you can get noodles and make ramen. We can make bread in here. We can make a breakfast. That is a breakfast of kings right there. We've got chunky meat stew. We've got all sorts of other kinds of stew. Mystery meat I'm not quite fancying. Warm lamb soup. All sorts of amazing stuff that we can make, and I've only just started really exploring that now. We've got our living area here, which has got... Turn on. There we go. I've got a cooking pot in there as well in case I want to dual cook at any point, and we've got a nice... So that gives us a nice little ambience, and just in case it gets cold, which it does here near the hub sometimes, we've got the ability to warm up by the fire, although... Even in spite of our enormous windows, and you can see I don't get a brilliant view through this glass. I'm hoping come Alpha 16 we're going to be able to see through the bulletproof glass a little bit better. We're high enough up here, hopefully to avoid any aggro, and hopefully to avoid having any cops spit up this high. I honestly don't think that they can reach this far. And wasps could find me here, none have yet, but I don't think that they're actually capable of breaking the glass. So... and we've got our protection against spiders further down as well, so that's all good and should work fine. And should be fine. So we've got wonderful views during daylight. At night time you really can't see ever so much at all, but I haven't suffered from being too cold in here, in spite of the fact we've got these enormous walls of glass. Then I've got this spiral staircase, which from here goes all the way up my house. So we go up to this floor, and again I'm just going to put on, you can see that's what it looks like. That's not too bad to me, but on camera it's probably a bit on the dark side. So here we go, and again in quadrants we've got the staircase there, which goes on up to the roof where we'll go in a moment. We've got the study area here, where we've got your desk and chair. I've got a little safe there for keeping my dukes in as I stack them up. We've got bookcases where I can put spare books, or mostly what I use these for is to organise my challenges and my maps, treasure maps and things, and I put them in there when I collect them on loot runs, just so I can come back to them when I'm good and ready to. So that is the study nook within set bookcases, which I quite like. Then we've got our bedroom, of course, and I've got a little dressing table here because I'm a girl, you know. And then I've got lots of cabinets here for collecting up clothing and or armour. I tend to keep clothing down this side and armour down the other side, and the bed respawn point, of course. And then of course we have a bathroom in here because I like to get RP, but again it's got a working granite sink in there. And I like to keep these items, which are also Valmod, toilet paper and soap, both of which take away dysentery. So just in case, I mean, I've got with the working sink, I'm unlikely to contract dysentery, but you never know, because sometimes I do catch it by accident by clicking the wrong thing when I'm swimming and accidentally drinking the water. Hey, it happens. Okay, we've got a couple of medicine cabinets, and then I like to have a little RP shower, which of course doesn't work, but it looks the part. So there we are. That is the whole of my house, and we've got a glass roof there because it lets in during the daytime. It lets in quite a lot of daylight, which is fantastic. So I do love big windows, but the only way of safely having big windows in your build, really, you can just about see the tree line there and the enormous lake that's out back of my base. The only way to have windows safely without having bulletproof glass is to be so many floors up that the zombies don't even know you're there. Alrighty, so... because obviously we're enough blocks up that anything but a feral zombie will not have a clue as to our presence, which is why I like building my home so far above. I'm hungry, but I'm going to ignore that for the moment. Hey, busy, you know. So we've basically, at the roof level now, I've got a little sort of house sort of shelter with our staircase coming up here, so it doesn't rain into the house, you know. Coming onto the roof here, where I've got a rooftop, which I just wanted. Put the catwalk all the way around the outside to put a railing, a secure railing there. And I just wanted to have a good view. Again, if it was daytime, you'd be able to see at least half of the hub city. Roll on those far distant POIs and prefabs and things, because we'd be able to see the whole of the hub city from here, if that was the case in Alpha 16. So looking forward to that. In Alpha 16, I think I'm going to be building a tall structure, because this does look, you know, like a great view during the day. Time's rather run away with me during this video, so you're not getting a great view there, so apologies for that. And then on the top here, I thought I might as well make use of the space, and I planted a bunch of apple trees. So again, these are Valmod trees, and if we do that, it looks like I've killed it, but actually I've just picked off the apples, and in fact all the leaves. But hey, there we go, they will grow back. There we go. And I had thought about having a normal tree farm just of maple trees up here. But, yeah, I didn't have room for my apple trees in the garden below. And I prefer the size of these. They're not too overbearingly huge. Because full-size maples up here would pop, I don't know, they'd make it look as if the whole place was going to collapse. And this is actually quite a pleasant little platform to stand and admire the view from. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until dawn, and then we can finish the video where you guys can actually see the view, because it really is very nice from up here. And there we go, it's dawn over the dishevelled glory of the hub city, or at least what we can see of it. So as you can imagine, you guys can see that. You can imagine how much better the view would be in Alpha 16, which is why I say I'm kind of tempted to build something really tall in Alpha 16 to really make use and take advantage of the fact that we're going to be able to see prefabs and houses and buildings and what have you from a really very long way away indeed, which is going to give us an even more epic view. But nonetheless, even now, looking pretty good. I think I can see really quite a long way in all directions. It's a bit of a shame about the huge, silly huge cliffs that we get around the place, but maybe that'll be fixed by Alpha 16, or maybe not. I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. As things stand, I don't know, I'm liking this space, and I love having a view. As much as I love building underground, I really do like, if I do that, I miss what I'd miss in real life, which is this. Being able to see the sky, the light, the quality of the light as it changes, and so I like my bases to have windows. And as I say, the only real sure way of doing that is actually to have, to build them a long way above ground level like this, so that you can be sure that your windows won't get smashed by a single zombie punch. Either that, or you have to get cunning with defending them. Okay guys, so this has been my Hub City high-rise tour, and I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, you know what to do. Hit that like button, let me know, and please feel free to say whatever you like in the comments there as well. Until Alpha 16, well, you never know, depending on how long Alpha 16 is coming out, I might build another one of these, but probably not. It's doubtful, to be honest, because the creative builds do take a really very long time, and generally they only get built in the course of playing them as well. So until Alpha 16, I hope you guys will keep watching my series, and if you just watch the creative ones, then that's fine as well. But in the meantime, do check out what else I've got on offer on the channel, and until the next video, keep gaming, keep surviving, and stay happy. Bye bye for now.